Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for today's discussion. Hare Krishna, Charanakshmi Mataji, Dasarathan, and also Siuling Mataji. Hare Krishna, welcome. So today is a very auspicious day. We are here to discuss on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, which is going to be an amazing chapter. So before we do that, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagarajadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaura Kata Damadaya Nagra Grama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachari Satarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitai Kripa Abdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnanadayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambu Jayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhume Stam Nidresa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vanchakal Patarubescha Kripa Sindhubevacha Paditanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratise Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Shari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki Harium Tatsat Hare Krishna. So welcome. So today we only have few, but it's okay. We still go on with our class, right? So today we're going to discuss on chapter 4. So yesterday we have discussed on chapter 3. So just a quick recap. So what we have studied in chapter 3. Okay, the title was Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means that how that we should engage in our activity, okay, for the pleasure of the Lord. Okay, so few things that we can recap. Krishna says that you have to perform your duty, even though the duty can be very troublesome, but you should perform it. Okay. So because the duty, the prescribed duty is very important. Through the prescribed duty, we do we perform yagya, and through that yagya or the sacrifice, okay, through the sacrifice there'll be a rain, and through the rain we are getting the grain. Okay, the grains are there. So we and also the we also studied about this what they call the what is the word that work together. So we work together along with this. So when we perform sacrifice, the devas are very happy, and the devas will be providing things, and there will be peace and happiness, reign, prosperity. Okay. Anything else that we have that you have studied? Any takeaway? Anything that also we have spoke about? So even the prescribed duty. Okay. So it says that when a person try to control himself, okay, he's trying to control himself, he's trying to refrain himself, but when his mind still dwell in that subject matter, this is called as a pretender. Okay. So with that thought, let's start our today's program. Okay. Chapter 4. Chapter 4, we call Dhyana Yoga, the divine distinct. Okay. So ISKCON Ipoh proudly presents in collaboration with ISKCON Ipoh Bhakti Yoga Center. First Garden Bhakti Yoga Center with ISKCON Malaysia, we proudly presents Gita Gyan, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4. Okay, let's take darshan from Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Patakami, Pavatumi. So today we dedicate our program to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And this program has been inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, the governing body commissioner and also a spiritual master. And this program is dedicated to my very dear God brother, His Grace Annadi Jagannath Prabhu of Bangalore ISKCON Sheshadipuram. He is the creator and brainchild of the Essence of Gita Gyan program worldwide. Okay, let's look at today's understanding of the Gita. So after hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna accepted Krishna as Param Brahma. Para Brahma means the Supreme Brahman. Every living being is Brahman. But the Supreme Living Being or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called the Supreme Brahman. So Parandama means that he is the supreme rest or abode of everything. Okay, he is the supreme rest and he is the abode or the place of everything. Pavitram means that he is pure, untainted by material contamination. Purusham means that he is the supreme enjoyer. Shashvatam means original. Divyam, transcendental. Adi Devam, the supreme personality of Godhead. And Ajam, the unborn. And Vibhum, the greatest. Okay. So today, let's look at today's Gita Mahatmya. So, or the glories of Bhagavad Gita that's spoken by Adi Shankara. So now what it says here, Gitasu Gita Kartavya Kim Anye Shastra Vistarai Yasvayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padma Vinishrita. So what it says here, what it means, because the personality, because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, okay, because spoken by Krishna, one need not read any other Vedic literature. So one does not actually need to study any other Vedic literature. One need only attentively, very attentively and regularly hear and read Bhagavad Gita. Because in the present age, people are so absorbed in mundane activities, okay? And that is not possible for them to read all the Vedic literatures, okay? But it is not necessary. But this is not necessary. This one book, Bhagavad Gita, will suffice because it's the essence of all Vedic literature, and especially because it's spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, when we want to study all the other sastras, we don't have the lifetime, okay? When we look at this, what are the sastras that we have? Initially, the Vedas are one. Vedas means knowledge, okay? The body of knowledge. Vedas is one. So what happened? As time comes, especially in Kali Yuga, people are very absorbed in so many other activities and they are always disturbed in mind. Okay, what are the other activities we are talking about? Say like now with this what they call with the social media, somehow or other everyone is so attached to that social media like Facebook, Twitter, not Twitter, I don't think it's so popular, but TikTok. So it's a must for them to see. It becomes like so addictive. And also, like, people stop buying newspaper and all this because they see they can get the latest news. So because of that thing, especially what's happening around the world, people are getting so agitated. And in that agitation, sometimes they have no time to read. So actually, they don't have time to study. Okay, especially in Kali Yuga, because in previous Yuga, the knowledge has been transmitted. Okay, the knowledge has been brought down through disciplic succession. When a guru speak, the disciple accept it as it is. The disciple could remember the Vedas exactly. Okay, just in one class, he just go on speaking, and the disciple could grasp it because they have such a sharp mind power. But in Kali Yuga, we don't have such. So what did Vyasadeva did? Vyasadeva, who is also incarnation, Saktivesh avatar, incarnation of Lord Krishna. What he did, he went and document the entire Vedas, because after that people won't have that much of intelligence to remember them. So he created a documenting. So he documented the entire Vedas. So after he documented the entire Vedas, the Vedas became so huge. Okay, huge. So because the Vedas are so huge and vast, he divided into 4 parts. Okay, he divided into Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda means, in other words, it's like etc. Sometimes when we speak, when the English that we say, you do, okay, I did this, etc. etc. The word etc, etc, etc. Or in Malay we call done line. Okay, this is called Atharva Veda. So whatever left over is Atharva Veda. So what he did, he compiled that he divided the Vedas into 4, and he gave to his 4 disciples. So the Rig Veda he gave to Paila Maharishi. Then Yajur Veda he gave to Vaishampayana. Sama Veda he gave to Jaimini Rishi. Atharva Veda he gave to Sumantu Muni. So what the disciples did, because the Vedas is still, that is even divided into 4, it's so huge. So they even divided into 4 division. So because the Vedas is like that, so he divided into 4 division for easy studies. So that means the Rig Veda was divided 21 distinct. So what he did, he divided into Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and Upanishads. Okay, Sanghita, Brahmanas, Aranyaka, Upanishad. So he divided Rig Veda into 21 Sanghita, 21 Brahmana, 21 Aranyaka, and 21 Upanishad. Okay, and Yajur Veda, Vaishampayana divided into 100. That means 100 Sanghita, 100 Brahmana, 100 Aranyaka, and 100 Upanishad. And Sama Veda, which is huge, Jaimini Maharishi divided into 1000 division. That is 1000 Sanghita, 1000 Brahmana, 1000 Aranyaka, and 1000 Upanishad. And Atharva Veda, Sumantu Muni divided into 9. That is 9 Sanghita, 9 Brahmana, 9 Aranyaka, 9 Upanishad. So what is Sanghita? Sanghita means like Brahma Samhita. All right. So this thing. And Brahmana and Aranyaka is like ritualistic process. The rituals, all varieties of ritual. Okay, like getting married ritual, death ritual, all varieties of ritual. Upanishad means the instruction. Okay. So now, when we see, the entire Vedas has been divided into 1130 Sanghita, 1130 Brahmana, 1130 Aranyaka, and 1130 Upanishad. So total 4520 division. Okay. And through that division, this Rig Veda, which is Paila Maharishi, he brought it down through his disciplic succession. Yajur Veda, through Vaisampayana, he brought it down through his disciplic succession, Parambara, and like that it went. So that means the Sanghita and Vedas and all this has been even more diluted. So easy grasping. So it even brought it down even more and more diluted. So there are millions and millions and millions of verses and divisions. Okay, a man has no lifetime to study this. Just imagine, Bhagavad Gita is alone 700 verses. Srimad Bhagavatam is 18,000 verses. 18,000 verses. So like that, there is so huge. So like, for instance, if you study one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, it's going to take you 50 years to complete it. Okay, of course, we don't recommend you to do one verses, right? So you have to go on study. So like that, all the things is being divided. But unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, during that invasion of the Mohammedans, when the Arabians came and conquered India, they destroyed And when the British came, they further destroyed. So 70% of the entire Vedic literature has been destroyed. The one that survived, destroyed or disappeared. Okay, destroyed or disappeared. So the only things that available now is only 30% of the entire Shastra. So in that 30%, so what is that most important? That's why in this says that we do not, in this what they call in this Mahatmya, we study that only Bhagavad Gita will enough, because Bhagavad Gita goes straight to the point. What is that? Okay, when we look at all the 4 Vedas, what are we supposed to know? What are we supposed to achieve? What is that conclusive knowledge? You know, when we go to school, there is a conclusive knowledge. All right, at least there's a conclusive, don't have a conclusive knowledge, but there's a conclusive intention. And what is the intention? To do well in the exam. So what is that so first is that we are going to school, there's a conclusive intention to pass the exam. So when we look at varieties of exam, midterm, what they call final term, we're talking about SPM, STPM, all these things. What is that? What is that ultimate goal, intention of that exam? So that I could get a better university. So when you go to the better university means I get a better course. Okay, the course which has so much demand. So what is the intention of that? So that I can get a better job. So what is the intention of the better job? So I can have a good life. That means I can have a lot of money. So when I have a lot of money, what will happen? I can marry and settle down, having a very lavish life. All right. So that is all intention, right? So the intention of the Vedas. So what is the intention of what is the conclusive truth about the Vedas? When we study the entire Vedas from Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva, and all their subdivisions, what is that ultimate goal? All right. So sometimes we see that certain words are hidden in certain places in the Vedas. Okay. So we sometimes people in Kali Yuga, we don't have much intelligence to grasp it or to extract it. We have no intelligence. We cannot extract what is the actual thing. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna simply extracted all that important stuff that is enough for you to be liberated from this material world and even to go back home, back to Godhead. The secret that he's going to reveal. Okay, there's so many confidential topic. Why confidential topic? Because it's hidden somewhere in the Vedas. It's all hidden in the Vedas. All right, and it takes a what they call expert to extract it. But since Krishna is the source of all Vedas, he could easily extract it. And that extraction is the one that's been explained thoroughly in Bhagavad Gita. That's why it says, this one book, Bhagavad Gita, will suffice. It's enough because it's the essence of all Vedic literature. This is the essence of all Vedic literature. First thing to consider. The second thing to consider is because it's been spoken by the Supreme Personality himself. Okay, when we do a comparative study, when you look at all the other spiritual books, it's been spoken by someone, okay, a pure devotee. Okay, Jesus spoke about the God. In Al-Quran, Nabi spoke about, Muhammad spoke about Allah. So like that. But here, Krishna himself speaking about himself. So he is the one is giving, it's not tips. What is tips means? That means indirectly is giving you or hinting you. But in Bhagavad Gita, there's no hint. It's a direct instruction. Because there in Bhagavad Gita, when you see that when they're setting up the scene, when you see that Arjuna is so depressed and he's in the midst of war, Krishna has no time to speak philosophy. Right? He has no time to speak about these and beating around the bush and everything. He went straight to the point. So the Bhagavad Gita is the only book, it goes straight to the bull's eye. Okay, what you need to do. What are the things, this thing, all right? So he explains everything thoroughly and reveals all the secret that within that 45 minutes, Bhagavad Gita was spoken 45 minutes, of course. Within that 45 minutes, he have already expressed everything that a person supposed to know. So actually, Krishna had taken this opportunity to speak to Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Okay, because formally that Bhagavad Gita was spoken to someone, which we were going to study later, but eventually it lost. So Krishna was looking for an opportunity. He said, with whom I could create that opportunity. And he created that opportunity through Arjuna. I had a question a few days ago, a devotee from Chennai, India, who is also a group in this group. She asked, why Krishna need to create fight in that family? Why he encourage infighting? All right. So actually, it's not a fight within the family, because this is the fight according to dharma. Okay. Say like if I'm a policeman, if I find that even my own close family member is a criminal, I cannot cover him. So according to dharma, according to duty, I need to go and arrest that person. And say if I am the prosecutor, public prosecutor, when I see my family members are there standing there as being a criminal, I have to perform my duty to prosecute him, to put up points to convince the judge. And if I am the judge, if I see my family members are standing in that criminal in that what they call in that podium, the arena, that thing. So when I find that my family member, even my very close, my dear family member, who are there, taken drugs or distributed huge amount of drugs, I have to still sentence him to death, because that is my dharma. So when I sit on that seat of a judge, so I have to still punish, even if it's going to be my very close family member. That is called dharma. Similarly, when Krishna started to reconcile, he became the mediator. He want to create peace within these two parties, but still nobody wants to settle down with anything. Okay, so when no one wants to settle down, so the only choice is by the trial of arms. That means by war. And in that war, he created that an opportunity. All right, if I die, you take the kingdom. If I live, I take the kingdom. So they have no choice. So the war, after all that thorough discussion, thorough negotiation, all this, nothing seems to be created. The war has been declared. All right, the war has been declared. Just like, for instance, an Indian soldier of Muslim descent, when the war break out with Pakistan, which Pakistan is all mostly Muslims, right? So that Muslim soldier of India cannot say, oh, I cannot go and kill my own brothers because they are all my own religion. I cannot do that. No, you can't do that. You have to perform your duty. When you represent India to fight against Pakistan, you have to still perform your duty of fighting with them. Okay. So when this thing was declared, they have no choice. The war has been created. Right. So in that war, where the situation was created, where Arjuna became so despondent, he became so heartbroken, seeing their own family members are standing there right in front of them with so much of vigor and want to fight. He broke his heart, and Krishna took this opportunity to okay. So Krishna took this opportunity to speak Bhagavad Gita. So you all got a rough idea? All right. So it is not a rough idea. It's a straightforward idea that Bhagavad Gita is actually the summary of this entire 4 huge work. Okay. Because Krishna have just simply give the essence, because in Kali Yuga, this essence is enough. Okay. Now, so that's a chapter 4. The chapter 4 is called the transcendental knowledge. So overview of the chapter 4 is Divya Gyan, or transcendental knowledge. Divya means transcendental, Gyan means knowledge. All right, through disciplic succession. What is Divya Gyan? About Krishna, how to attain God, Varna Ashram, approaching a guru, and glories of Divya Gyan is the overview of chapter 4. So let's look at 4.1. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Imang Vivashpate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Ikshvakave Bravit. Okay, so just give me a second. So in chapter 3, yesterday, we ended in the last verse, Evam Buddhe Parang Budva Sangstya Vyatmanam Atmana Jayi Shatru Mahabahu Kama Rupa Durasadam. So it says that this knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, knows that we are above the material senses, mind and intelligent. O mighty Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence. That is Krishna conscious, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. Okay, so the chapter ended in that way, And in 4.1, Krishna start continuing. He start to give more detailed instruction. So it says that Imam Vivasvate Yogam. Imam, that means I spoke to Vivaswan. Vivaswan means the sun god or Surya Bhagavan. Okay. Proktavan aham avyayam Vivaswan manave praha manur ikshvakave bravit. So Vivaswan. Okay. Then he says the personality of God, Lord Sri Krishna said, I instructed these imperishable signs. So that means what? I instructed these imperishable signs. Okay. Let me highlight these things. So I instructed. That means first he gave instruction. What? Imperishable signs of yoga. Okay. Yoga to the sun god, Vivaswan. And Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind. And Manu in turn instructed to Ikshvaku. So what we can understand from here. So first he says, okay, before I go to the instruction, now let me just explain to you about this. First he spoke this to Vivaswan, the sun god. Okay. That sun god instructed to Manu. So Manu is actually the creator of man. So when Brahma created Manu, from Manu, all the human are created. That's why we are known as Manushya. In Malay, we call Manusya. In Tamil, we call Manushan. In English, we call man. So why we are known as man? Because we are created from the Manu. So the father of mankind. So first, Vivaswan heard the signs. Then he instructed to Manu. Then Manu gave it to his disciple, son Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku is the forefather of Lord Ram in Surya, in the Sun dynasty. So now, let's look at this. The Lord Krishna says, I instructed. I instructed means what? Okay, he never gave, he taught, he gave instruction of these imperishable signs. So that means we understand Bhagavad Gita is eternal. Bhagavad Gita is the science of eternity. Imperishable means the science that can never be destroyed. Okay. And what science is this? Imperishable science of yoga. So yoga means, as we have understood yesterday, to linking oneself with God. So that means I instructed these imperishable, the science that can never be destroyed. That is the art of knowing God. Okay. The art of knowing Krishna to sun God. So that's what. So this is what it says here. Okay. The first he instructed these imperishable science means the Bhagavad Gita is imperishable. So all the things that we're going to learn from now, it is all imperishable science. And this science can create eternity. All right. A person who studies, who understood, like yesterday we have studied in Bhagavad Gita. I mean, yesterday in chapter 3, what we understood. Okay. We spoke about this thing that this endeavor will save one from the greatest type of danger. Even a little endeavor. Do you all remember that? Thumbs up if anyone remember that. Remember yesterday we said, when a person, who's that? Who's that? Thumbs up? Okay, 7, very good. Right? So it says a little endeavor will save one from the greatest type of danger. And what is the greatest type of danger? To fall down into the animal kingdom. Okay. So here, that's why it says again here, the imperishable science. So this is the imperishable. Once a person who studies this imperishable science, the person also will remain imperishable. He never fall down into this animal kingdom and all these things. All right. So now let's see. So now 4.2 Krishna continues. Evang parambara praptam imang raja rishiyos viduhu sa kale neha mahata yoga nasta parantapa. So evam parambara praptam evam. So the supreme science was just received through the chain of disciplic succession. Okay. It came from understood in, but in course of time, okay, in the course of time, okay, the succession was broken. And therefore, the science as it is appears to be lost. Okay, what we can understand from this verse 2 is like this. The supreme science was just received through the chain of disciplic succession. That means Krishna spoke originally, and it's coming down through guru-disciple. It is not from a mundane, a guy who's a great philosopher, poet. He slept and he had some kind of inspiration. and immediately next day he woke up, he started to speak. It's not like that. It come under the disciplic succession. All right. And where it source from Krishna. Okay. Because we see here, the person got Lord Krishna said, I instructed these imperishable signs. So I instructed these imperishable means the knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita comes from Krishna. The knowledge of the Shastra, the Vedas also come from Krishna. Okay. When the thing comes from that Krishna, it is the perfect source. Because Krishna is perfect. God is perfect. When the knowledge comes from God, the knowledge is perfect. You understand? So like sometimes, that some atheists, they used to say, they say, hey, Bhagavad Gita was written by a human being or spoken by the human being. What's so great about it? How can we take this as the summum bonum, or how we can take this Bhagavad Gita as the original source? How could accept Bhagavad Gita as the right source? How sure are you that Krishna was right? Why? Because it's spoken by man. So now we understand from here, 4.1, 4.2, Krishna says, I spoke. And who is Krishna? Later we will know. Krishna will start to declare himself, will start to reveal himself. So he says, I spoke. And he came from the disciplic succession. But halfway, and the disciplic succession and the saintly kings. So in those days, the kings are all saintly. All right? They keep their dharma. They uphold. The job of a king is to, in previous yuga, Satya Yuga, Treta, Dwapara. What is that? We will also discuss later. So in all the saintly kings, their main duty is to save the people from repeated birth and death. He have to ensure that Brahmanas are taken care so nicely so that they don't need to worry about getting a job, looking for something else. So the king will feed them so nicely so they can just 100% concentrate of going and developing the entire citizen. All right. It can be even from the lowest Shudra up to Brahmana, everyone they go in this thing, so that everyone becomes successful in human form of life. So before they could do that, the kings has also to go through this way. So that is how the saintly king understood this through the succession, through the parampara. Okay. So, but in the course of time, that is around 2 million years ago, the course of time, the succession was broken. Everything was broken. So looks like the science as it appears to be lost. So now we understand why Krishna created the environment to speak Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Now let's look at that parampara or the succession. Okay. We talk about it comes under the parampara. That means guru disciple. So guru disciple succession. Okay. It's called parampara. Okay. Let me see. We have that Mataji. Siuling Mataji, do you understand what is parampara? Because for Indians, it's a very common word, but I want to know whether you understand parampara.
Yes, Prabhu.
Are you there?
The other day you mentioned already about
do you understand what is?
Yeah, from if let's say you apply it to my surname, or maybe you can explain.
That means your grandfather, father, it is like descendant. Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. Great. Fantastic. Okay. Now, when you look at this parampara, there's only 4. And these 4 are the original. Other than these 4, everything's bogus. Okay. Everything is created. All right. So what is that 4 original parampara that been advised by the Vedas? Okay. Who are the 4 original parampara? So the 4 original parampara, first is Rudra Sampradaya. Rudra Sampradaya. Rudra means from Lord Shiva. And who is that Acharya or the Guru or the great Guru of that Sampradaya is Vishnu Swami. Second is Kumara Sampradaya. This Kumara means from Lord Brahma, the son of Brahma, not Lord Murugan, Lord Kartikeya. It is son of Brahma, the 4 Kumaras. Okay. They have the Kumara Sampradaya. And who is that Acharya? The Acharya is called Nimbarka Swami. Okay. The third Sampradaya is Sri Sampradaya. And the Acharya is Ramanuja Swami. I think every one of you quite familiar with who is Ramanuja. His samadhi is still in what they call Trichy Ranganatha Swami temple. All right. The body is still there. If you have that, if you are very lucky, you'll be able to go into that samadhi and see the body or see that rupa, not body. Only dateman we call body. For 1,000 years ago, he went there, samadhi, he sat there. Until today, he remains seated. The body there's no order, there's no nothing, and the body seems to be perfect. You know, any one of you been to Trichy and see that some Ramanuja's what do you call Samadhi? Anyone? Any one of you have seen that? None of you. Okay, if you this thing, if you get a chance to go to South India, especially to Sri Rangat Swami Temple in Trichy, all right. So you go there, you can see that Ramanuja Samadhi. So who is the Sri Sampradaya? The Sri Sampradaya is basically all the South Indian Brahmanas. Especially if you go to Tirupati temple, you go to any Vishnu temple, you can see them. They are the Sri Sampradaya. Sri means the Sampradaya start from Mahalakshmi. Okay. And their tilak is different. They put a tilak and they'll put a line in the middle. Okay. And the fourth Sampradaya is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Brahma, from Lord Brahma, through the Acharyas Madhvacharya, Gaudiya. Gaudiya means the people who descend, who is like from Bengal to UP, Uttar Pradesh, all these places are called Gauda. So they're Gaudiya Sampradaya. And who's the Acharya? The Acharya is Madhvacharya. Okay. Like one of the tree of Madhvacharya is also what do you call Sri Raghavendra. Okay, you all have watched that movie Sri Raghavendra, acted by Rajinikanth. Okay, because of him, that Raghavendra became very famous. So one of that branch of Madhvacharya is Raghavendra Swami. So we are all under the same tree, but on a different branch. So the branch that we are is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, and the Acharya is Madhvacharya. So that our Guru Parampara, how the thing started. Okay, it's from Krishna, as we understood just now. Krishna says, I am the source of all knowledge. So he inspired Brahma. True Sabda Pramana. What is Sabda Pramana? That means because when Brahma was born, we will explain to you how the thing happened. When the Brahma was born, everything seems to be dark. He was wondering who is he and what is he. And he was like, seems to be lost. And Krishna, through the flute, inspired him, initiated Brahma. And that's when he got the creative idea to create his entire creation. Okay, Krishna initiated Brahma, and Brahma's disciple is Narada Muni. Okay, and his disciple is Vyasadeva, and Vyasa's disciple is Madhvacharya. Remember the Madhva Sampradaya we said? Okay, this is the Madhva. Okay, this is called Madhvacharya. Okay, so he comes, so that's Madhvacharya, and Madhvacharya's disciple is Padmanabha, his disciple is Narahari, his disciple is Madhva. This is Madhva, this is Madhava. You see the A with a dash on top, we pronounce Madhava. And this is without dash, we call Madhva. Okay, so Madhava, Akshobhya, and his disciple Jayatirtha, and his disciple Jnana Sindhu, his disciple is Dayanidhi, like that Vidyanidhi, Rajendra, Jayadharma, Purushottama, Brahmanya Tirtha, Vyasa Tirtha, Lakshmi Padi, Madhavendra, Puri, Ishvara Puri, who is initiated Nityananda, okay, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his disciple is Rupa, Swarupa, Sanatan, Raghunath, Jiva, okay, and his disciple is Krishna Das Kaviraj, and his disciple is Narottama Das Thakur, his disciple is Vishwanath Chakravarti, and his disciple is Baladeva, which is also Jagannath Das Babaji, and his disciple is Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and his disciple is Gaurakishore Das Babaji, and Gaurakishore, his disciple is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and Srila Bhakti Saraswati Prabhupada disciple is A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he initiated my Guru, and my Guru is initiated me. All these called Parampara. So the knowledge is coming through this Parampara system. So when it comes under the Parampara system, any of the speaker here do not take any credit, because the speaker simply repeat what he actually heard from his spiritual master. The only thing can differ is the way that he expresses it or the way that he portrays that message. But the message is same. But the portrayal or the way that he expressing it can be according to individual. But the message of that Parampara is not tainted. It is as it is shown. All right. So like that. Okay. Now, after listening to all this, Arjuna start to doubt. Arjuna start to become doubtful. He said, Arjuna vacha aparang bhavato janma parang janma vivasvataha katam etat vijaniyam tamam adav proktavaniti. See, huh? Oh Krishna, Arjuna said, the sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. He's very much senior to you because he just now only appeared. He's so much senior to you. How am I to understand? All right. How am I supposed to understand that in the beginning, you instructed the signs to him? How am I supposed to know that in the beginning, you gave him the instruction? You all understand? He said, senior by birth to you, and you're my cousin. We are somehow or other same age. All right. But you said that you went and taught sun god. How am I supposed to understand? So now you see, but both of them are cousins. They are very close. So Arjuna was not like make fun of the, hey, Krishna, are you sure now? You're talking, what are you talking the truth? Hey, what is this? You are, how old are you? And you're talking, you went and you teach verse 1. How is that possible? Why he didn't say like that? What is the reason? Why Arjuna didn't say like that? But why Arjuna asked very humbly, how am I supposed to understand? Why? Because initially, previously we understood in chapter 2 that Arjuna said, I have surrendered unto you, Sri Krishna, and you are my guru. And please instruct me. That is how the guru and disciple relationship. The disciple do not doubt guru's word and do not make fun of the guru's word. They are always meek and humble. And in that humbleness, Arjuna is asking, could you please tell me how to understand this? You all follow me? Then in Krishna says 4.5, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Bahuni me vyatitani Janmani Tavacharjuna Tanyaham Veda Sarvani Natvang Veta Parantapa. The personality of God, it said, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subdue of enemy. So now, when you look at this verse, we could recall back what we have understood in chapter 2. Okay, I hope you all can recall. There was not a time this person never existed, and there'll be not a time that this person will never exist in the future. You all remember that? Anyone remember that? Can you just put a thumbs up or what? Let me see. Anyone remember? Oh, great. Who's that? Oh, Kesavan remembers that. Other than Kesavan, anyone else? Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. Who's that next? We won't understand. Sivling Mataji, do you remember that?
Well, can you say again?
In chapter 2, Krishna says, there was not a time that these people never existed, and there'll be not a time that these people will never exist in the future. Or in other words, they've been existing before, and they'll go on existing in the future. Do you remember that? We studied that in chapter 2?
Yes.
Oh,
remember.
Great. Okay, because sometimes I'm just going on telling, I don't know whether you all can grasp it, but if I'm too fast, please stop me. Because I think I'm so used to talking about this. So just stop. Hey, stop it. I can't get it. Okay, I'll be very happy to stop and slow down a bit. Okay, now. So now that's what it says here, right? So now what we have understood in chapter 2, now Krishna is explaining it here again. So what we understand in chapter 2 is a summary of Bhagavad Gita, and all the scripture from chapter 2 will be expanded in the entire 16 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so that's what Krishna says here. Bahuni me vyati tani janmani tava charjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam vetta parantapa. Many births both you and I have passed. Krishna says, you and I have passed many births. All right, because why? As a soul, we are eternal. Yes or not? But I can remember all of them, Krishna said. But you cannot, O subduer of enemy. All right. So now let's look at this. How many births have we passed? Okay. In total, there are 8.4 million species. I want all of you to really pay attention to this because this is very important. Because when we are thinking, you must understand what are the situation, what are the births that you all have passed in your life. Okay. So there are 8.4 million species. Okay. Now let's look at 8.4 million. We divide into 4. Okay, if you don't understand, immediately raise your hand, or you want, if any doubt, please ask me a question on the spot, because I really want you to remember this, and not remembering this, understand this, very important. So there are 4 types of way a form is born. Okay, through the semen, through that mammals will have semen, through the semen. Number 2, through eggs. Number 3, through seed, the plant seed. And number 4, through perspiration. That means waterborne. There are 4 types of species. So that means there are 2.1 million species born through semen. You know, the male and female, they combine through the semen, semen, sperm, semen, through the semen, 2.1 million births, 2.1 million varieties. Through the seed, 2.1 million varieties. Through the perspiration, like mosquitoes, you know, they born, I mean, from the water, right? Like a frog and all. Okay. Through the water, 2.1 million species. All right. And through egg, the one that born like chicken and all this born through egg, it is 2.1 million species. So total are 8.4 million species. So out of 8.4 million species, let's look at this. There are 900,000 types of aquatics that one lives in the sea or water, fish, octopus, and all these aquatic animals. There are 900,000 species. In one species, got thousands of varieties I'm talking about. But the species like octopus, we talk, okay, one species octopus. In octopus, got so many species. Okay, we take one species fish. In fish, we have so many fish. Yes or not? We have whale, we have shark, we have these, we have anchovies. We have so many species in one. Fish species got so many varieties. Like that, 900,000 aquatic species. All right? When you look at trees and plants, there are 2 million species trees and plants. Okay? We have trees and plants, 2 million means, that means we got a species like what they call, even a grass, we got a Bermuda grass. All right? We have a Philippines carpet grass. We have a cow grass. Like that, grass alone, we have lalang. We have so many grass. Like that, total 2 million species of trees and plants. When you look at insects and reptiles, okay, when we look at the fly, mosquito, and all these things, reptile like snakes and crocodile and all these, there are 1.1 million species. All right. When you look at the humans, in human and humanoid, that means there are 400,000 species of humans. Okay. We have varieties, blonde hair, black hair, white hair, the color of white, brown, red, yellow, and what is the next color? Black. All right. The 5 colored human being. And these are so many things, right? And of course, there's a mixture, you know, so like that. So there's a 400,000 types of humans. When you look at the mammals, okay, there are 3 million types of mammals, okay, like dogs, bear, and all these bison, tigers, lions. There are 3 million types of mammals, okay. When you look at the birds and the entire bird family species, there are 1 million varieties of birds. And you know what? There are total of 8.4 million species. And for your information, my dear Prabhus and mothers, let me tell you one thing. We have passed through every of these species. We have passed through all these species. You know, we have gone through all these entire species of life. When you see a cockroach, once upon a time, you were a cockroach. When you see a worm in the stool, you know, sometimes when you see the dog drop a stool or shit, right? You see the worm inside, you were that before. When you see a fly that go and sit on the stool, you were that before. Like that, we have passed through these 8.4 million species, all varieties we have passed through. So now Bhagavad Gita is going to tell us how are we going to come out of it for good. So now we should understand there are 8.4 million species. Okay. But the thing is, we have forgotten what we have went through. Okay. We have forgotten. So, but the thing is, it's been, okay. So we don't remember any of this. Okay. Any questions on this so far? 8.4 million species. Do you all understand? Put a thumbs up. If not, you can ask a question.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
Vanita
Prabhu.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
All these are our birth on this earth only, isn't it, Prabhu?
Yes, correct. In this material world.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Happy to see you. She's one of the pioneer students of mine.
Happy to
From
be here.
2021 February, first class. She was the first to one of the pioneers. How about bacteria, viruses? Yes, of course, bacteria, viruses are still included. Bacteria, viruses are still included in the species, all right? It is all there. It's all living entity. That's why virus also has intelligence. Yes or not? Even the cancer cell, all right? See, everyone of human being, we try to exploit. We want to exploit things. We want to conquer things, right? Yes or not? We want to monopolize. Okay, like say if I'm a businessman, I want to monopolize. If I have power, I would like to monopolize. Okay, if I have a multi-millionaire, I want to buy 5 houses and rent it out. No, I want to be in control. The same thing, even when you look at bacteria, even you look at viruses, or even you look at cancer cell. So what is cancer cell means? The cell that has been mutated. The mutation of cancer cell in a normal term, we can call the cell that turn into a terrorist. So the cell that turn into terrorists, you want to conquer all the other good cells. And that's what we in the modern term, we call it as cancer. And spread, once the thing conquer all the good cells and you start to subdue them, the person eventually dies. All right. Okay, Siuling Mataji. Yeah, Mataji, yes.
Yeah, Prabhu. I have a question. So are you saying that we have once each of these species, or
Yeah,
we
exactly.
have been through
Yes.
all the varieties in one species? Like
exactly.
we have been the Westerner, we have been an Easterner, we have been an Asian, and all this.
Yes.
Or yes.
And you also have been an Amazonian.
Okay.
You know the Amazonian?
Mm.
The tribal in Amazon jungle, deep jungle in Brazil. You know, wow, all that, you have been.
So if let's say this life is a rabbit, what is the next life of the rabbit?
Okay, that is a very complex this thing. First of all, it's like this. You pass through all that life, you come to human life. After you come to the human life, then what is your desire? You fall down and you accept that form of life. Then after you come up, there is this thing is very complicated. Of course, we will also discuss what happened, how that a human fall into animal kingdom. In our following chapters, we will discuss that. So that's why I'm saying this Gita Gyan program is not only Gita Gyan. It is going to be a very scientific and way of approach, as what I've understood in all my previous classes. I mean, what I've heard and understood. So all these things I'll be explaining here. How the thing we evolve.
Let me ask again. So is it in the sequence? Is it in a particular sequence? We are evolving in a particular sequence, or is by karma?
I understand your question. See, like this,
Okay.
we have 6 senses, right? Human being, we got 6 senses, yes or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So we start from 1 sense, 2 senses, 3 senses, 4 senses, 5 senses, 6 senses. The 1 senses are the trees and plants. Okay. The 2 senses are what they call the all right, the insects and all these things has 2 senses. All right. The 3 senses are the aquatics. They have 3 senses. The 4 senses are birds. Okay. The 5 senses are animals. You know, the animals all got 5 senses, the mammals. And we human beings, we got 6 senses.
So the evolution is actually a gradual development of different.
Yes, of course. Okay. Imagine you fall down to a tree body. You fall down into the tree species. Imagine then you have to come up with the 2 senses, then you have to come out 3, then you have to come out with 4, 5, 6, then come back to human being again. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
So imagine from the tree, you evolving up to aquatics. So in aquatics, you have to go through all the 900 species of aquatics. And imagine how many millions of birds that you have to go through. Then after that, you come up into these insects, reptiles, and all these things. So you'll be born as a snake, you'll be born as a crocodile, you'll be born as a hippopotamus, all varieties. After going through all varieties, then at the last stage is cow. After cow, you'll be evolved to human being. And human being, there's a 400,000 types of human being. So it depends where you're going to start. Then you have to evolve. Then you come to the level, you still don't realize your true self, you fall back into that. Okay, since you asked that question, let me answer this. Okay, example, now, Siling Mataji, you have given me a land to cultivate. Are you following me? Are you there? Are you following me,
Yeah,
Siling?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
All right. Okay. Now you said, hey, since you are having a center, I got a land. Why not you come and cultivate the land? I give you 1 acre land. So you gave me 1 acre land to cultivate. Okay. Then what happened? I said, okay, thank you so much. I'll cultivate, I'll plant some trees, some vegetables, some this thing to cultivate, to use for the temple. And I'll, okay, fair enough. You give the land. I supposed to cultivate. 1 week later, you come. You see the land is not cultivated yet. You call me and ask, what happened? I'm too busy. I got a lot of classes, Okay, take your time. But am I okay? Then after that, 1 month later, you come and ask, what happened? Why you're not cultivating the land? The land has turned into lalang, all this small bush. He said, no, actually I have no time, Mataji. I'll definitely do it. Okay, take your time, Prabhu. 6 months later, you come, it turned into a secondary bush with some trees and this thing. You ask, hey, what happened? I said, no, I'm still not busy. Okay, take your time. But try to do it as soon as possible. 1 year later, you come and still have not touched the land, and the land turn into a small jungle. What will you do, Siling Mataji?
This is a difficult question for me. I need to think
No,
about
logically, what will you do? You gave
maybe
me something. Huh?
you are not working on the land.
Yes,
So
I'm not
maybe I
working
will
on
find out with you whether you have difficulty, real difficulty. Are you
No,
interested?
that doesn't matter. Of course, 1 year of you tolerating me because you've been coming and seeing the place has turned into a jungle, forest. So what would you do logically?
Maybe get someone else?
You take it away from me, yes or not?
Hmm.
Yes or not? I say enough. Okay, I think it seems you're too busy. Since you can't use it, let me take it away. I'll give it to someone else. Yes or not?
That's one alternative that I may consider.
No, that's the only alternative, right or not? If I just simply sit on your land and do nothing, means what will you do? You definitely take it away, correct or not? So similarly, when your God have given you the 6 senses, we have all the 5 senses. When the God give you the extra 1 sense, the 6th sense, and how you should utilize the 6th sense? You have to utilize it by asking question, who am I? What am I? What is my mission? And you should create a solution that by understanding that I have came across all this life and I've wasted all my life. I've been in aquatics before, I've been in insect before, I've been trees before, and all these things. So you should always endeavor to stop your repeated birth and death, to stop your transmigration within this universe. That is the reason for the 6th sense, to understand beyond perception. But nowadays, human beings are becoming sophisticated animal. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending is a standard practice, even for an animal. The dog sleeps, the man sleeps, but the man sleeps on the road. I mean, on the bait, but the dog sleeps on the road. The dog mates to create puppy, and we also mate to create children. Okay, and the dog defend their children, and we also defend our children. And we also the dog defend their territory. We also have territory. We build a house, we put up the fence with CCTV. All right. The dog works eating, sleeping, mating, and eating, sleeping, mating, defending, eating, sleeping. Then the dog also eat, we also eat. So what is the difference between man and dog? Yes.
So, Prabhu, by that logic means we are first given all the senses and it will be taken away one by one if you are not.
No, it's not taken. It's not going to be taken away. That's the point I'm coming to now. So that's the point I'm coming to now. So what happened? Okay, what is the difference between man and dog now? Man and animal. You see, all the animals are doing that: eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. We also doing the same thing. So what happened? We became a sophisticated animal, right? So the animal runs on 4 legs. We are running on 4 wheels. Okay, we are trying to we are creating more and more sophisticated way to have enjoyment. So when we are doing that, so what Krishna will do, the nature will do, will remove your 6th sense. I've given you the 6th sense to realize yourself, but you are creating more comfort in your eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Therefore, he removed that 6th sense. So you fall back into the 5 senses. You fall back into animal kingdom. You understand? So the sixth sense is very, very, what do you call, very, very precious. Only through the sixth sense, we could identify a lot of things. But men are wasting their time. So that's what is Bhagavad Gita is speaking all about. So by we complete the Bhagavad Gita, you understand. Right? So now the confusion is, or the speculation is, how am I going to use the sixth sense? That's what is Bhagavad Gita is all about. Okay, Mataji? Because this is I supposed to talk on my another chapter, but since you have asked, I don't want to put you in limbo and in confusion. So therefore, I just give you a rough idea. You got it?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. So we have gone through all these 8.4 million species of life, but we have forgotten. But now, then after Krishna says that I could remember many of my past, but you can't. Okay, I can remember all. Then in 4.7, now we jump one verse. So now Krishna also now explaining why actually is coming. What is the reason? What is the reason he descend? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanang srjamyaham. He says, whenever and wherever there's a decline in religious practice, or descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion. That means the irreligion start to rise. At that time, I descend myself. Okay. So Krishna says, whenever and wherever, anytime there's a decline in this religious practice, when people are becoming irreligious, because being an irreligious means a person in a demoniac nature. Okay. Because they should understand there is something that controls us, because we are the jivas, we are the controlled. And Krishna is Ishvara, the controller. We are the controlled. But when we don't deny, when we deny that, what will happen? The person will become more and more, what they call, atheistic. When the atheistic rise, it creates so much of trouble to the world, especially to the devotee of the Lord. Just like Ravana, just like Kamsa, just like Hiranyakasipu. They start to make in such a way that all those people who are spiritual, they say, don't practice all that. So whenever they do yagya, they throw the stool inside. They create so much of trouble. So that time, what happened? Krishna says, yada yada hi, whenever and wherever he dharmasya, that means there is the decline in religious practice. Glanir bhavati bharata. I come down to create, okay, predominant. When the predominant, I come to create. I descend myself. And what is that? What is the purpose he coming down? All right. Well, what is the purpose of being irreligion? Why he comes down? Because in 4.8, Krishna says, Paritranaya. He's explaining the reason that he comes down. Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha duskritam, dharma shangsta panarthaya, sambhavami yuge yuge. So Krishna says, the reason I come down for what? To deliver the pious. That means to deliver the pious means what? To protect the devotees. Okay, the pious people, the devotees. Okay. Paritranaya sadhunam. Sadhu means devotees, the pious people. Okay. The pious people. So they come down to protect the devotees. At the same time, vinashaya, destroy. Who? Duskritam. Duskrita. Duskrita means the miscreants. So to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants. That means the atheistic class of people. Atheistic, the mad people. Okay. At the same time, dharma. Dharma means religiosity. Sangstha panarthaya. That means to re-establish the principle of religion. To re-establish the principle of religion. I myself appear millennium after millennium. So in every millennium, I come to this thing, because this is the place, this material world is a prison. Okay, what is that? We will discuss in chapter 6. Chapter 6 or chapter 7, we will discuss that. Okay, so in this place, sometimes, because sometimes, there will be a rise of irreligious, there will be a rise of irreligious things. People go crazy in it. So sometimes they have to come down to subdue, to what they call, to establish the religious practice. Okay. So now, okay. Okay. So now we understand. So what is the reason that Krishna descend? Okay, what is that purpose of Krishna's descent is because to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants. Okay, he came to protect the devotees and of course to annihilate the one who gives trouble to the devotees, like like Hiranyakasipu, like Ravana, all these people, right? To create the to destroy the miscreants. Okay, as well as to re-establish the principle of religion. Krishna says, I myself appear millennium after millennium. So that means we understand all that avatar, all that incarnations, millennium after millennium. Krishna is the source of all incarnation. He's Rama. He came as Narasingha. He came as Varaha, like that. So he said, because he said, I myself appear millennium after millennium. And in 4.9, Krishna continues, Janma karma cha me divyam, evang yo veti tatvataha, tyaktva deham punarjanma, naiti mam eti so Arjuna. So one who knows this transcendental nature of my appearance. Now Krishna is giving a very straightforward instruction. He says, if one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities, that means who knows my appearance, the reason that I appeared, and also my activity. See, when he came as a Krishna, he was like, he was like going and terrorizing the neighbors' house. He came in the form of Narasingha, destroyed Hiranyakasipu. That means the appearance and the activities. Okay, one who knows, okay, does not, upon leaving the body. Leaving the body means when we leave our body, take his birth again in this material world. We will never be born again in this material world, but attain my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So he comes to my eternal residence. So what is the residence? We will discuss in our following chapters. In 4.10, Krishna also said, Vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mam upashrita bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavam agata. Being freed from attachment. Now let me highlight these things. Okay. Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger. Okay. Being fully absorbed in me. Okay. Fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me. Many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me. Okay. And thus they will attain transcendental love for me. Okay, what is that? Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger. Okay, Vittaraga. That means that there is Bhaya. Bhaya means fear. Krodha means anger. Okay, attachment, Vittaraga. So that means, in other words, what we understand from here, what is that impurities? What is that making us stuck in this material world? Is attachment. Okay, fear and anger. Attachment is mother of all suffering when we are attached to so many things in life. I'm attached to my house, I attach to my family, I attach to this, I attach to that. So sometimes when the thing that they say, for instance, you are so attached to the children, but end up the children, all right, is not going to reciprocate with you, it's not going to turn back and protect you, not going to give you anything. What will happen? The fear will arise, and after that, the anger will arise. All right. So like that, attachment is mother of all sinful reaction. Okay, we're going to study about attachment, fear, and anger. It's one of the subject in Bhagavad Gita that Krishna will somehow or other will convince you to get rid of it. All right. So when you're going to get rid of all these attachment, fear, and anger, which is called impurities. Okay. So when you're going to attach, how are you going to do that? Once you release from that attachment, fear, and anger, you will be automatically fully absorbed. That means you will be fully absorbed in Krishna. Krishna says, absorb in me. All right. Man maya. Maya. Man means me. All right. Purify. Okay. Then, and at the same time, take refuge. That means we start to depend on Krishna's protection, in the divine protection. Okay. He said that many persons in the past, there's so many devotees in the past, right, became purified. They purified by knowledge of me. So by knowing him. Okay, because just now we studied, those who know my activity and everything will come to me. Then again he said, attachment, fear, and anger, if you out of this, you fully absorb. How? By taking refuge. By doing that through the knowledge of me, you get yourself purified. When that thing happens, you will attain transcendental love for me. That's when the love will arise in our heart. Okay. All right. So now let's look at the yoga step. How the process starts. Okay. It's like this. First thing is, okay, First, we start with Shraddha. Shraddha means we start with little faith. Okay. Then I know, example, what is happening to me and why am I suffering? Okay, I understood Bhagavad Gita. Now I studied Bhagavad Gita. I know I have a little faith. Okay, I want to start with faith. So you're going to empower your faith. So once your faith arises, how the faith arises? Okay, then you start to do sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha means then you start to come and join the temple. You start to associate with the devotees. Tell me more. Tell me more. Okay, the best person to tell you more is the devotees, right? Then after the sadhu sangha, that you improve yourself, then you come to the level of bhajana kriya. Bhajana kriya means your performance of devotional service. Then you start to be convinced, you start to perform devotional service. You start to do some little service like distributing Bhagavad Gita, the topmost service, Bhagavad Gita, or you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. All these are devotional service. You start to perform it. So once you start to perform, you become good at it, then is the time that you come to this level, Anartha Nivirti. Anartha Nivirti means decreasing unwanted attachment. So all that unwanted attachment, the attachment that, after all, the attachment in this world is troubling you, right? See the association, I joined this club, I go to the club, you're fighting, they go there, is that. Everything around us, it is not giving us happiness. All right, I'm attached to this, I'm attached to that. And end of the day, it's only suffering. So what happened? You start to understand that, you start to decrease. That means you start to like avoid all these unwanted attachments. So once you come to that level, then you come to this level of Nishta. Nishta means you become steady. All right, you start to become steady in your sadhana, steady in your devotional service. So once you become steady, Nishta, that's when you get the Ruchi. Or in Tamil, we call Rusi. Rusi means taste. All right, you start to have the taste of this thing. So once you get the taste, higher taste, when you get the higher taste, all the other tastes will just go off. And then you come to the thing called Asakti. Asakti means attachment. Right? So what? So you Asakti means now you've been attaching to what? And after being attached to the Lord, then you come to the level of Bhava. Bhava means love. You start to feel the love of the Lord. Okay? So once you start to love Bhava, then you come to the last point we call Prema. Prema means pure love. Pure love means what? The love that is not tainted. All right? You come to the level of pure love. So once you come to the Prema, pure love, the next step, you go straight back home, back to God. So this is the, what they call progressive step in advancement in devotional service. Okay? Okay, now, 413. Okay? Krishna also says, Chaturvarnyam maya shristang guna karma vibhagasha tasyat kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. He says, according to 3 modes of material nature, is going to be the biggest topic, all right, from chapter 13 onwards. Okay, 13 onwards is going to be the biggest topic. The 3 modes of material nature. That is mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay, we will study that later. And the work associated with them. Okay, the 3 mode of material nature and the work associated with that nature. That means the nature, the work in passion, the work in ignorance, the work in goodness. All right, associate with them. Okay, the 4 divisions of human society are created by me. So he created the 4 divisions of human society. All right, that is called, the first is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, even though he created, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. Even though I created the system, but I am not, I'm the non-doer. That means I am not involved in that. Okay, in 14, Krishna says, Namang karmani limpanti, name karma pale spruha, iti mangyo bijanati, karma birnasa badhyate. So Krishna says, there's no work that affects me. Okay, that no works. Namam karmani limpanti. So na means no. Okay, ma means me. Karmani means activity. All right. So there's no work that affects me. No. So that means na me karma pale spraha. So that nor do I aspire for fruits of action. Pale. Pale means fruit. In Tamil we call palan. என்ன பலன் என்ன பலன் எதிர்பார்த்து வாழ்ற என்ன இதை செஞ்சா எனக்கு என்ன பலன் கிடைக்குது பலன் பலனா பழம் பழம் means fruit. So na me means na means no, me means me, karma activity, pale spraha. So that means nor do I aspire for fruit of action. That means I don't aspire anything. I do something, I want to get something, I don't aspire for that. One who understands this truth, Iti mang yo bijanati. The one who understands this truth about me. Also, karma bir nasa badhyate. That means also does not become entangled. So one who understands this truth about me, when they understand the truth about Krishna, about this, that he doesn't get attached, there's no work affect him, that he doesn't aspire for anything. One who understands also does not become entangled. These people also never get entangled or stuck. Entangled means stuck in the fruitive reaction of work. Okay? In 24, Krishna says, Brahmarpanang Brahmahavir, Brahmaknau Brahmanahutang, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. A person who fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Okay? He says Brahmarpanam. That means fully absorbed. Arpanam. Arpanam means offering, being fully absorbed. Okay? Brahma. Okay. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom. They are sure to attain spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution, because he fully contributed his life to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute. That means all his activity is fully complete. And in that which is offered of same spiritual nature. That means the offering of his work is his activity is of spiritual nature. Okay? Anyone don't understand this statement? Anyone understand? Thumbs up. Uh-oh. Anybody home? Oh, okay. Someone is thumbs up. Oh, Dasarathan. Great. Okay. Oh, Siling Mataji. Wonderful. Okay. So we understand. Okay. Now, let's look at 34. Tat vidhi pranipatena. Okay. Now we want to know, okay, Brahma Padama, fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, is sure to attain spiritual nature and all these things. So now, how am I supposed to do? So now we're going to refer back to chapter 2 again. So what is the verse that we're going to refer? The same water, the same well that gives okay, how's the term? What you're going to get in the well, it also supplied by the great reservoir of water. So what you have understood in Vedas, it can be delivered a person who knows purpose behind them. Do you remember that verse? Do you remember? Anyone? Who's that? Remember? Oh, okay, Siling Mataji. Because you asked a lot of questions. Dasarathan also asked the question. So that means we understand. What is a small well that can give you? The big reservoir water also can give you. But at the same time, what is the entire Vedas that can give you? It can be delivered by the a person who knows the purpose behind that Vedas. So from you going to the river and sea to take the water, you rather just get it from the small well because it's going to give you the same thing. Similarly, from you and studying the entire Vedas, which is not possible by human endeavor, it's better to approach a person who knows the purpose behind them and can give you advice according to your nature. And what is that? That is 34. Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshanaha. It says just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Who is that spiritual master? The person who understood the entire Shastra. Who can, because he is the one. So from you studying and endeavoring to study the entire Vedic literature, simply approach a spiritual master because and learn the truth from him. Okay. So how you should approach a spiritual master? Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively. So you inquire from your spiritual master in a very humble stage of life. You don't ask, hey, can you tell me why I'm here? Who's God? What is heaven? What is hell? We cannot do that. We have to ask submissively. Dear, no, Guru Maharaj, please kindly explain to me. All right. Hear from him submissively. At the same time, render service unto him. When he's going to give you the knowledge, also you serve him, render service to him. All right. And Krishna says, Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshanaha. The self-realized soul. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Can you see that? So, jnaninas tattva darshanaha. So, they have seen. Darshana means seeing, see. So, jnani, that means they have seen the truth. The jnani tattva, the knowledge and the purpose behind it. So they have seen the truth. So that means the self-realized soul can impart knowledge. Impart knowledge means what? How do we understand the word impart? Why they didn't use the word? The self-realized soul can teach you the knowledge, can suggest you the knowledge. Why? They didn't say that. Okay, the translated is they can impart. Impart means what? Download. You know, you take a thing and just put in the computer and download the entire thing. So similarly, the spiritual master can bless you and he can impart the knowledge unto you. So you can understand the thing. Okay, the knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. That is that power of spiritual master. The spiritual master is not like just like an ordinary teacher or lecturer. It is divine. We have three types of spiritual master. One is Chaitya Guru that lives in your heart. Second is Diksha Guru that gives you initiation. Third is Siksha Guru that teaches you, that gives you that gives you instruction, that teaches you. All right. So the Chaitya Guru in the heart is Paramatma because he knows. Sometimes when we are in quiet, you know, sometimes we can get instruction. No, actually you should do that. Actually, you should go and join this Gita Gyan class. You know, somehow or other you made a decision to come here because it's been instructed by Chaitya Guru in your heart. I think you should go and check. Then someone, yeah, okay, let me go and see. Yes, right. Then after that you approach a spiritual master, means you get diksha. But before you get your diksha or initiation means you are linking with the parampara. You are linked to the parampara. You are no more an ordinary person. You are linked into that parampara that comes from Krishna. Okay, that is diksha. All right, but before that you take siksha. Siksha means instruction. So siksha guru, you can have many siksha gurus. Okay, all the gurus that come and inspire you, some teach you, can be anybody. They are all known as your siksha guru. All right, but after you learn from them, then you go and approach a spiritual master, you accept diksha. So once you accept diksha, with this contribution by siksha, diksha and chaita, the three types of guru, all the knowledge can be imparted unto you. All right. Okay. 35. Yajñatvana punarmoham evang yashyasi pandava yena bhutani sheshani drakshasyatmani attomayi. Having obtained real knowledge. So what is the advantage? Once you obtain a real knowledge, so after they impart the understanding to you, now you have obtained the real knowledge from a self-realized soul. Okay, you have obtained the real knowledge, not artificial knowledge, not speculative knowledge, the real knowledge. Okay, you will never fall again into that illusion. Na punar moham. Moham means illusion. So you'll never fall into that illusion again. You'll never fall into that illusion, thinking that the world is a nice place to live in, right? Everything is there for me to enjoy. You will never fall into that illusion. And for by this knowledge, so through this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are part and parcel of the Supreme. But because through that knowledge, you start to see everyone in an equal vision, who is the part and parcel of Krishna. Or in other words, they are mine. So what we can understand here, by this knowledge, you'll see that every living being are part of, every living being means what? So when this kind of atheists, like stupid fellows like Ambedkar, like all these Periyar in South India, all these kind of cursed human beings, they start to say that there's a division, there is a caste system created by the Vedas, created by in Bhagavad Gita. But now what Krishna says is very clear, right? Ena bhutani asheshani drakshyami atmani atomai. That means you start to see every person with equal vision, because everyone has Krishna in his heart as Paramatma. So that means Krishna, the word that he used here is every living being, even a Chandala, even the outcast, untouchable, even a cow, even a dog, even a pig. A person, once they get the real knowledge, they start to see everybody in an equal vision because they have that spiritual spark. The soul that can never be perished. Remember, the soul that can never be cut into pieces. And that soul is part and parcel of the Lord. Okay? Super soul and minute soul. Or in Sanskrit, we call as Paramatma and Jivatma. Okay? Like that. So they start to see everyone when person obtain the real knowledge. Okay? But these kind of people who misinterpret Bhagavad Gita, who simply say in Bhagavad Gita there is a caste system, right? There's a caste system there is this and that. It creates lots of trouble. Okay. So, but here we understand Krishna says very clearly. Okay. And 36, this is something which is going to be even more exciting. This is going to be even more exciting here. What Krishna says here, apichet asi papebhya sarvebhya papakrit tama sarvang jnana plavenaiva vrijinam santarishyasi. So plavena, plava means boat. Okay, plava means boat. So he says, even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners. Example, you can be a horrible sinner. So what are the sins that we can think of? What is the number one sin a man can perform? The most grievous sin is abortion. Killing the child in the womb is the most terrible sin. Killing a life, a child in the womb. Abortion is number one sin. Among all the sin hierarchy, the king of sin is abortion. And number two, killing a cow. So killing, and number three, killing a brahmana, devotee. So all these things consider terrible, horrible sin. So what Krishna says, apichet asi papebhya. Papa means sin. In Tamil we call pavangal, pava. But in Sanskrit we call papa. So apichet asi papebhya. Sarvebhya papa. Sarvebhya. You can be the sinner of all great sinner. Sarva. Sarva means everything. Sarvam. Sarva, logam. Sarvam. Everything. You can be the horrible papa. Kritamaha. But sarvam jnana, true that intelligence, sarva, that means true that jnana, jnana means intelligent. Plavenaiva, plavenaiva means the boat. Vrijinam santarishyasi, you can cross. So the translations, even if you're considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, you can be the horrible sinner, just name it. When you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, like knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, you will be able to cross over the ocean of misery. You could cross over the ocean of misery because all the sins punishable. You know, going to hell is actually it's not a big deal at all. It's okay to go to hell. Go to hell, get yourself burnt. Not you, but a person goes to hell, they get burnt. And after some time suffering, they come back. It's better that way. But the most scariest part in this creation is to fall down into animal kingdom. Fall down into abominable life. Imagine we fall deep into the deep ocean, into a life living thing. It is so, just when you look at the rat, the rat from one hole, run to another hole. From that, run to another hole. Always in anxiety, right? When you see a deer, when you look at National Geography, when the deer is, when you eat, you just look left, right. Eat, look left, right. He doesn't have peace of mind. Because anytime anybody can attack. Horrible. But Krishna says here, you can be the worst sinner. Just name it. Just name what are the sins that you have done in your life. It's okay. But when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, when you take Bhagavad Gita, you study Bhagavad Gita very, very, very seriously. All right? You will be able to cross over. That means all the sins can be subdued. All right? Over the ocean of misery. 436. If you have a Bhagavad Gita, please mark this 4.36. Okay? 4.36, and please study the purport. It is very, very, very inspiring. And 39, Krishna says, Shraddha vallabhate jnanam tatpara sanyatendriya jnanam ladva parang shantim achirennadi gacchati. A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge. Now, what happens if you dedicate yourself? Okay, now I'm going to take Bhagavad Gita as my lifestyle. I'm going to carry Bhagavad Gita wherever I go. Okay, I'm going to hold it in my hand. When I'm stuck in the jam, I'm just going to open a read and Bhagavad Gita. Whenever I'm free, I'm not going to waste my time studying this newspaper and all these nonsense things. I'm just going to open a Bhagavad Gita and just try to see one or two words, and I try to get inspired. So that is faith. A faithful man who dedicated to transcendental knowledge, okay, and who subdues his senses. At the same time, he can control his senses, is eligible to achieve such knowledge. So these are the people eligible to attain such knowledge. And having achieved it, once you achieve that knowledge, it quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. So supreme spiritual peace means what? It's called bliss. I can say I'm happy. I'm elated. I'm excited. But all these things can, okay, I strike some lottery. I'm very happy. I'm very excited. Yes, I strike big money, Mapiu, KTM, Koto, Kuda, Toto, Magnum, right? So I hit something, I'm happy, all right? Then I'm excited. Then when I see my children start graduating, I'm very happy, right? I start to see that, things are, okay, I'm elated. No, I'm kind of this thing. But bliss is something that can never be defined. Because happiness, all these things come through the external, what they call source. I'm happy, I'm excited. When I see my children are growing up and they have become very successful, I'm excited, I'm happy. But the bliss comes from within your heart. The word bliss can never be defined. It's a kind of happiness you feel so satisfied. It's a pure satisfaction of your creation, or of your existence. You feel so satisfied. Just like, see, sugar. Say I have not tasted sugar in my life. How are you going to define sugar? Say like, okay, Mataji says, oh, sugar is sweet. I've never tasted sweet in my life. I've never experienced sweet in my life. And you're telling sweet. I don't understand what is sweet. So they simply take the sugar and put it in the mouth. Now you suck it. Oh, this is sweet. Yes. Experiencing it. The expression from your experience is bliss. And that is why they said, and having achieved he quickly attained the supreme spiritual peace. All right? You start to see your life will be so beautiful. All right? So now, what are one of the ways that we suggest that you can achieve the spiritual peace is just like this. Okay, in East Bengal, there's a Brahmana named Tapan Mishra. He was confused after reading many Vedic literature. After reading so many, he became confused regarding their conclusion of the means to achieve liberation. How to achieve liberation. He approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and sincerely inquired him to clear his confusion. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that in Kali Yuga, this is Kali Yuga. What is this Kali Yuga? We'll also discuss in the following chapters. One can achieve perfection. One can achieve perfection of life by being a bookworm. One cannot achieve perfection of life by being a bookworm. That means, I'm the person who loves to study. No, all this. You can never achieve perfection. But one can attain salvation only by chanting the holy name of Krishna. Okay? And the Shastra recommended, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam. Kalau nastieva, gadir anyataha. Okay? In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, Kali Yuga is an age of quarrel and hypocrisy. People can easily quarrel. When you just honk at someone, the fella can get down and say, why do you honk? They can create a fight. And hypocrite, now you don't need to say about hypocrite. Now you see all the ministers, prime ministers, they talk something else, now they're doing something else. Everyone is hypocrite. Okay, this is the age such. Easily quarrel and people are hypocrite. Okay, in this age, the only means of deliverance, the only way that you can deliver yourself is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Simply chanting the holy name of the Lord. Right? There's no other way. There's no other way. There's no other way. Kalau nasti eva nastya eva nasti eva gadir anyataha. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu repeated 3 times. There's no other way. There's no other way. There's no other way. So that is that perfect conclusion that all the Vedas are dovetailed. In order to achieve success, you have to have knowledge. And that knowledge is Bhagavad Gita is a perfect knowledge. And secondly, by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you can achieve a huge perfection in your life. So the RDC formula, it's an amazing formula. Okay. Like for instance, you do not need to worry because Krishna also have already suggested you do not need to give up what you have, what you distinct. You simply add on. All right. Like we have studied in chapter 2, right? Chapter 2 and even chapter 3. Chapter 3, what we have studied, we don't even give up. Stay where you are. Okay. You do your prescribed duty. All right. People think, oh, if I start up this chanting Hare Krishna and everything, I be a monk. I know, no such thing. All right. So you just add on, stay wherever you are, whatever situation, whatever environment that you are, just add this thing up. Read Bhagavad Gita daily. Don't study. Then after that, you distribute Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is truly an amazing book. Why distribution? We will understand in a following chapter. But chant Hare Krishna daily. Okay, if possible, trying to chant 16 rounds daily, you start to see a huge transformation start happening in your life. The RDC formula is amazing formula. The usual question is, if for ladies, right? They say, if I've got my menses, can I study Bhagavad Gita? Yes, you can. All right. There's no rules and regulation about studying the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita can be read in any kind of situation, even you're clean, unclean. Okay. Let me see what's the time now. Oh, we still got 10 minutes. Let me explain to you one story that happened in India. Okay, I don't want to mention that place because now we have a lot of Indian devotees have joined us. So there's one particular city in India, metropolitan city. There was a prostitute. Okay, that prostitute was canvassing for customer. You know the prostitute, vibachari. All right? They hey, hello, calling men, come, come have sex with me, right? Say, was selling the body. Okay, prostitution. So while she was doing that, prostitution, suddenly a devotee approached her and said, I see you, very pitiful. I would like to give you this book, Bhagavad Gita. Kindly read this Bhagavad Gita. Gave her the Bhagavad Gita. When she had taken the Bhagavad Gita, all right, then she taken and she brought her to the room, the brothel room. So how she studied? While she's having, treating the client, while she was, servicing the client, after the client leaves, she immediately opened the Bhagavad Gita and started reading. Can you imagine? In the brothel, just after the sexual relationship, I mean, this thing, in this thing brothel, she takes the Bhagavad Gita and read. Then when the next client comes off and satisfy him, come back and open. Can you imagine? In that brothel. And she go on reading again and again and again, until one day she started to have a huge transformation in her heart. All right. She went to temple. In that particular place, ISKCON temple, she went there and she approached them. And of course, the devotees never look her down. That eventually she start to come, she start to study the Bhagavad Gita, she start pick up chanting Hare Krishna. And after she chant Hare Krishna, then she start to have a huge transformation. She eventually gave up a profession as a prostitute, and she became a full-time devotee. And she started to serve in the temple, and there's such a nice person, devotee, married her, gave her protection. And now this couple is one of the top book distributor and first-class devotee in that temple. Can you see how a Bhagavad Gita can transform a person? It's amazing. So there's no rules and regulation. You can have your Bhagavad Gita, take it with you wherever you go, read it, study it word by word. Make Bhagavad Gita as your lifestyle. Secondly, chant Hare Krishna. When you can do this chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, you will never believe how your life transforms. Okay? Your life transforms into a blissful life, whereby whatever job duty that you perform is going to be distinct, and you're going to have a beautiful life. All right? So take that distinct. So we end the session here. Let's open for questions. Any questions or any comment? Do you like the class today? Anyone? Is it recording? Oh, okay. Thumbs up. Okay. So is there any questions? All right. If there's no question, we end the session here. Just contemplate, think about it. Okay. If you think this video is going to help you, kindly share this video with all your family and friends. Kindly subscribe to this video and like it. All right. It seems I need to get 500 likes. If I get the 500 likes, I'll be entitled for something, because I can use it for Nama Heart Center. So that's the idea. And so like it, then what else need to say? All right. So tomorrow we're going to continue with chapter 5. Chapter 5, same time. Okay. Okay. Chapter 5 is going to be very, very, very interesting chapter. Please come and join the live classes, because certain things I need to off the record and speak, then I have to go on recording. Okay. Till then, have a beautiful day. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubevacha Paditanam pavinebhyo vaishnavebayo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Have a nice day. Gauranga.